Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another Boruto Naruto Next Generation discussion on the fallout from the last manga chapter. And there's one scene in particular that we need to discuss, which is the fact that at the end of the last chapter, chapter 76, we have Kawaki call out Boruto for being in communication with Momoshiki, and it does look like Kawaki's not pleased at the fact that Boruto has been talking to Momoshiki and appears to have been able to do so for a while now. And it's time to look at how the potential ramifications of this will impact the story moving forward. One thing that we've all asked ourselves over the years is what caused Kawaki to turn on Boruto and Konoha after everything that we've seen that they've done for him, and after Boruto has treated Kawaki like a brother. And in this chapter we see that Kawaki cares for Boruto deeply, otherwise he wouldn't have got so pissed off at Ada for her alliance with Code and the true reasons behind it, i.e. Ada gets her hands on Kawaki and Code gets to feed Boruto to the Ten Tails. However, let's shift things over a bit here. Let's look at how there's been a subtle build-up towards this very moment that we have right here in the chapter. Right from the beginning, after Boruto is brought back to life by Karma with Momoshiki's help, one thing has been clear. Kawaki did not look pleased to learn that Boruto was somehow still alive, survived everything that happened, and out of everyone in Konoha, he's the one who had the most reason to suspect that there was foul play involved, because up until this point in time, Karma has only been a curse to humans who have possessed it. When he saw for himself that Boruto was alive, the two, they shared a brief stare, and Kawaki at times you could tell he was watching Boruto closely, which is why he was the one who saw Momoshiki manifesting outside of Boruto. But at the time, Boruto had no idea that Momoshiki was standing right behind him in between Boruto and Sarada. Kawaki since then has been shown watching carefully, and Momoshiki specifically told Boruto to make sure Kawaki does not learn about the connection, making it clear that he feared an altercation with Kawaki at this current point in time. Kawaki never brought up the fact that he saw Momoshiki, but we can now gather off the last manga chapter that Momoshiki is aware that Kawaki saw him, which explains now why Momoshiki grew silent when Kawaki began to look up in this chapter right before he called out Momoshiki. It's not by mistake that in the same chapter where Kawaki declares his hatred for all things Otsutsuki clan, that Boruto is shown getting caught by Kawaki, that he's able to speak to Momoshiki. Now we have Kawaki calling out Momoshiki directly to Boruto's face. This has a lot of potential for conflict depending on the route that the story itself takes. If Momoshiki refuses to manifest in front of Kawaki, at least Boruto answers some very uncomfortable questions right in front of Kawaki, but also right in front of Damon. Ada won't be able to see the conversations that Boruto and Momoshiki have had based on what we've seen in the past, and that's gonna alarm Ada when she learns what's happened. Damon is right there in the room when Kawaki's calling out Momoshiki, and Kawaki isn't gonna think twice about disclosing the fact that Boruto can now speak to Momoshiki because he's gonna want answers any means necessary. Damon is also gonna want answers as well, because part of the reason why Damon has been establishing himself as the alpha dog in the room is to make clear to Boruto and Kawaki, don't try anything funny to harm my sister. You two are Otsutsuki, you two can kill her, but I'm gonna keep my eye on you to make sure that you never get the chance to do so. Boruto, once this is revealed, is going to be higher up the list for Damon in terms of a threat level. On the other hand, if Momoshiki doesn't show himself and Boruto confirms that he's able to speak to Momoshiki and share thoughts with Momoshiki, not only does that feed into Kawaki's paranoia about the Otsutsuki, but it is also a situation where Kawaki's going to feel some kind of way about the fact that not only did Boruto keep this information from him, but he hid the information from him after Momoshiki specifically asked Boruto not to share this information with Kawaki. That's not going to sit well with Kawaki, and it jeopardizes part of Boruto's mission, which is to be the backup plan in case Ada and Kawaki don't romantically link up. This could be further planting seeds to explain why Kawaki has blood on his face and why Mitsuki is so enraged with Kawaki in the future. It's simple, but there's enough here in terms of connective tissue to start drawing a conclusion of what potentially happened here. Kawaki has blood on his face, specifically Boruto's blood, because he's lost his trust in Boruto over the Momoshiki stuff and might have spazzed out on Boruto at some point in time. It's just enough seeds there to produce conflict, even if the conflict is a mere understanding. On the other hand, if Momoshiki does reveal himself to Kawaki, the issues with Daemon and Kawaki, they're still there. Daemon is going to view Boruto as a bigger threat now, and having seen with his very eyes that Momoshiki's there, it's going to make Kawaki potentially even angrier and even more distrustful of Boruto due to the fact that Boruto kept this information from him. However, the benefits here are pretty huge narratively. Kawaki is going to be given the opportunity to speak to Momoshiki directly, and he's likely going to have a lot of questions. Some of those questions are going to be potentially about how the Otsutsuki clan can do things, why they give people the Karma Seal, why they have no disregard for human life, and likely he's going to ask a question about what it is that Amado revealed to him from the stuff about Shibai, information about Shibai that Momoshiki is in possession of, information about divine jutsu, and most importantly, he's going to ask what are the chances that if he revives Amado's daughter via karma, that she can be transformed into an Otsutsuki by mistake, since as Amado said in the chapter, he can't guarantee this won't be the case due to it being something that he only has a theory about and no hardcore evidence, since there's no precedent for what it is they're attempting to do, and that's going to be huge. Kawaki isn't just going to take Amado's words at face value. He's going to want more info before he makes a decision, and based off of Naruto's words, we can surmise that Naruto is going to let Kawaki be the one who comes to the decision on whether or not he revives Amado's daughter or not. Naruto is not going to force Kawaki to do so. We also have the potential for Momoshiki to reveal why it is that he's so specifically distrusting of Amado, with Momoshiki giving Kawaki the warning to beware of Amado before he gets fed to the Ten Tails due to trusting and allowing himself to be used by others blindly. Momoshiki referred to it as Kawaki's fate, and Kawaki is likely gonna want answers. This will be the first time in the manga format of the story we're actually gonna have a full-blooded Otsutsuki sit down and give their side of the story, assuming that this happens and Momoshiki doesn't view talking to Kawaki the same as me or you sitting down to talk to a slice of pizza before you eat it. You know, because getting intimate and personal with that pepperoni pizza is super important before you eat it. See how stupid that sounds? Momoshiki has just as much incentive to talk to Kawaki as you and I have incentive to talk that slice of pizza. Just as that pizza is nourishment for us, it's the same thing for Momoshiki. He's looking at Kawaki like, yo, you need to get inside the Ten Tails belly because I want a chakra fruit. Though narratively, I will say this does work out very well, because what it does do is it allows for the opportunity to have an Otsutsuki potentially start poking holes in stuff that Amado has told us as readers over the years, or start confirming some of the stuff that Amado has told us. Momoshiki can be used as either a way to vindicate Amado, or he can be used as a way to end this man's whole career by blowing up everything that Amado's told us, which would be ironic given he was just trying to convince Naruto and company that he was not actually a threat in this last manga chapter. Momoshiki can just say, yo, don't trust this man's lying. And I think we as a community, I think we've gotten to a point to where we all recognize that Amado, when it comes to intelligence, in particular emotional intelligence, Amado understands it very well. He knows how to use those emotional triggers in order to gain favor, in order to mask his true motive. That was the whole reason he was able to play 4D chess with Jigen and Ishiki and dismantle Kara from the inside, because he played on the fact that Ishiki needed him to prepare Kawaki to become his next vessel. If Amado's lying, I don't think any of us will be shocked. And the fact that you have so many people in the aftermath of having read the chapter are convinced that Amado wasn't crying per se in the chapter, but he was covering up his mouth in particular because the guy was laughing and trying to hold it in. That speaks volumes to where Amado's character is at. It's gonna be very interesting to see how things progress from here on out. Now that we know for certain that Momoshiki has been called out by Kawaki and Boruto is seeing visions of the future right now, there's a lot on the line. So my questions to you guys are, between Daemon and Kawaki, who will react the worst when it comes to this reveal about Momoshiki? And should Kawaki feel betrayed that Boruto kept this information from him, or should Kawaki give Boruto a pass? While you think that over, click here for my Boruto chapter 76 review, or click here for this Kryptonian Saiyan video.